So now we're just going to work through a few examples of factoring. So I checked, I don't have a GCF. My leading coefficient isn't 1. I have 3 terms. So I'm going to take 6 times 12 and I get 72. Factors of 72 I'm going to use are 8 times 9. Signs are opposite. Larger is positive, so it's going to be a positive 9 and a negative 8. So I'm going to do 6m squared minus 8m plus 9m minus 12, and I group. 6m squared and 8m, we have a 2m in common, which leaves me with 3m minus 4. 9m and 12, I have a 3 in common, which leaves me with 3m minus 4. So here they match, and I'm left with a 2m plus 3. Okay. My second example, we're going to do 20p squared plus 2p minus 4. So first thing I notice here, 20, 2, and 4 are all divisible by 2. So I'm going to start by factoring out my 2. And then I get 10p squared plus p minus 2. So 2 is a factor, but I've got to keep factoring. My leading coefficient isn't 1, so I'm going to take 10 times 2 and I'm going to get 20. The factors of 20 that equal 1, I'm going to use 4 and 5. Signs are opposite, larger is positive. So I'm going to rewrite as 10p squared minus 4p plus 5p minus 2. So I'm using this guy, 10 and 2, because we've already factored the 2 out. And I group. 10p squared minus 4p, they have a 2p in common, which leaves me with 5p minus 2. 5p minus 2, they don't have anything other than 1 in common, which leaves me with 5p minus 2. So together, we have a 5p minus 2, and I'm left with my 2p plus 1, and I have that 2 out front. Remember, we want to factor the original polynomial, so to get back to the original, I'm going to need that factor of 2. So we want to include that in our solution. All right, and my last example I'm going to look at is 4x squared minus 25. This one's a little bit different. We're missing that middle term, but you're going to see what happens when we factor here. So, no GCF, but now we only have 2 terms, and we're missing that third term. But we still have an x squared where my leading coefficient isn't 1. So I'm going to take 4 times 25, and I get 100. Because there's no middle term, that middle term equals 0. So I'm going to find the factors of 100 that will equal 0 when we combine them. So the factors of 100 are 10 and 10. It's a negative 25, so opposite signs. One is positive, one is negative. So I'm going to have a 4x squared plus 10x minus 10x minus 25. Okay, those middle terms are the same, just opposite signs. Positive 10 minus 10 is 0. That's why there's no middle term. And I factor by grouping. 4x squared plus 10x, we have a 2x in common, leaving me with 2x plus 5. Negative 10x minus 25, I have a negative 5 in common, which leaves me with a 2x plus 5. So together, I have a 2x plus 5, and I'm left with 2x minus 5. Notice the numbers are the same, but the sign is opposite. This is an example of difference of squares. But we can factor it just like we're doing with our factoring by grouping. Okay, keep practicing. Let me know if you have any questions.